want a good job, if you want a good degree, you're going to have to study.
Welcome to Decoding Academic Success, the podcast that goes beyond books to give you secrets of academic excellence. I'm your host Aarav Bijoor, and I'm here to give you tips, tricks, and secrets in how to achieve in your academics. So, get a notebook, a pen, and a highlighter if needed, because we are here to decode the secrets and mysteries of achievements. Let's get started. Hi, so welcome to Decoding Academic Success. We are here for physics, and we have Anushka.
Hi.
She's amazing in physics as well as dance. So, while starting, I'd like to ask you, so what's your strategy for applying these physics formulas correctly during exams? Because sometimes, when we get this question, we have to derive formulas and everything. So how do we remember them to apply them properly?
So like you said, there are two ways of writing down the formulas. You either by heart them or you derive them. But the problem is, while deriving is easier, you don't have a lot of time in your exam. There's a time constraint.
Right.
So a lot of my teachers have told me, I think you must have told you, to make a formula bank.
Yeah.
That's one thing where all of the formulas are in a page. So you just revise the formulas from there. Now, there's something called a syllabus, I think you all know what that is. And one thing to remember that nothing comes outside of the syllabus in your exam.
Yeah.
So, whatever you're asking in the paper is in your syllabus. So, in the syllabus, what I used to do is, while writing the paper, now if there are a few questions, whatever formula gets applied over there, I think of, suppose there are 10 formulas in the syllabus that are there overall. I think of all the 10 formulas. Obviously, nothing can come out of the syllabus, but it has to be one of these 10 formulas that we use. And that's how you solve the question. So you see which formula applies well. You write down what quantities or what values are given to you, and you see which formula applies well. And then that's how you sort of connect your formulas to the question, and that's how you remember the formulas. So I think making a formula bank is super important. Either paste it in your, keep it in your book or paste it on your desk or something like that. So it's easy for you to revise and keep looking at it.
Yes. So going forward, can we, while we're following this paper, we have this 1 or 2 hours given. So how do we distribute the timing in the paper to solve it? So where do we start from? Do we go from MCQ or do we go from AP?
So each paper is different. You have a different MCQ paper, you have a different AP paper, you have a different structured paper. That will be on different days, different timing, that's no problem. So I think it's a very generic answer, but then if you don't know the answer, skip the question. Go forward, go to the next question, because you do not want to be wasting time over one question where you could have gotten 4 marks in other questions. So what I do is, I do something called, I take 2 minutes for each question. So suppose it's a structured question, I read the question once, try and solve it. If it's not solvable, I spend 2 minutes on that question trying to solve it. Yeah. After 2 minutes also, if I cannot get the question, move forward to the next one. I can always come back, I can always solve a little and leave. But obviously, I don't want to risk my other marks and other questions for one question that I can't get. Yeah. So that's one thing. Skill forward. If you don't know skill forward, you can always come back to the question. But don't compromise on wasting your time. That's very important.
Right. So what's your belief on doing the question complete?
I don't agree with that. I mean, if it's wrong, it's wrong. In the Cambridge world, there's no negative marking. Right? So if it's wrong, it's wrong. But don't leave it at it. Write nonsense if you're writing it, but write something in common. Because see, in the IGCSE exams, you used to get some marks for working, some marks here and there. They used to give 1 or 2 marks if they wanted. That is, if it was in the levels. But then in the A levels, they have certain marks for only certain steps that you show. So even if you write down 4 workings, if you show entire workings, they will not give you marks for that. There's no point in wasting your time doing the entire working when you already know get marks for that. So try and balance your time like that. Know where they are giving you marks, what is needed, what's needed. Don't write unnecessary stuff, but write something if you don't know the answer.
So tell us one study method which you use to make complex subject, like the complex topics very easy by studying.
So I think one, making notes is very effective. Yeah. Very effective at learning. At the start, I used to only blindly write down the teacher or write down the textbook. It was my notes. Color coded here and there, add drawings, that were my notes. But recently, I have later changed my tactic What I do is read topics, or either when the teacher is teaching you a topic, while the teacher is teaching you write down correct, but because the rough notes while the teacher is teaching you go home, and then whatever topic has been taught, read it through again, and then make notes again, like spare notes based on your understanding. Remember, the notes don't have to be what the topic actually is, it has to be what you've understood of the topic. So if you want, you can draw, you can make bullet points, you can draw arrows, you can make drawings, you can try, make write in small boxes, whatever helps you understand the topic better, that's how you make your notes. Now for me personally, I don't like reading other people's notes because they're not in my handwriting, they're not in the way I like it. Some of them just only go on writing. So that's something I don't like. It may work for them, but it doesn't work for me. So even if they give me their notes, I make it a point to make my notes, their notes my notes, and then make it in a way or write it in a way that I would understand better. So making notes is one very effective thing. And another thing is reading what you are learning out loud. You can either be in the form of teaching someone else, you can get a parent or a friend to come, you can teach each other topics that you are reading at, or just when you're sitting alone at your desk, read stuff out loud. That will help your brain absorb whatever you're reading or whatever you're learning. So that's another method of communication.
So one of the major resources that you rely on while studying, like some past paper science or something.
Okay, so I think there's a regular idea teacher who I also be telling you, this SEMA exam, that's PMT, that's physics math tutorials and physics math tutorials. I'm sorry to do that. But there are also these really good authentic sites. It means it's student and teacher collaborative sites. It means it's authentic student tips, teacher tips, student notes, teacher notes. So they're raw. One of them is r/IGCSE. It was initially a Reddit page, but it's also now a website. And now you have IGCSE as well as A-level curriculums, notes, tips, trainings, everything you need on that. I found it really effective. Because one, from a student's point of view and a teacher's point of view, so you can see what students have written in the exams previously before, what teachers expect you to write, all of that stuff. There's also Zenotes, which is really effective. Again, you need to make an account, select your subjects, but I found it very effective for me. There's also a website called Cheat Sheets, where you have, so essentially cheat sheets are a single page. It is a concept, it's a single page, and you have really small definitions or formulas and stuff written. So cheat sheets, what they do is, there are multiple people who make these cheat sheets. If you have, suppose, a doubt in electricity chapter in physics, or the chapter in physics, so that's what you type out, and they give you definitions, formulas, small notes, all in one sheet. So it's really handy for you to carry it somewhere, if you need to revise, on the board revision, or if you need to stick it somewhere, it's really good.
Right. So summing up the whole podcast, tell me, how do we stay motivated for practicing these very complex and tough topics? If we don't try such topics in momentum and acceleration, how do we get motivated by them?
I think you have to realize that, okay, so number one, studying is not everyone's forte, we all know that. You might like studying, you might not like studying. And it's not necessary that you have to be great at studying. You could be great at many other things, it will take you far in the future. That's not a question. But obviously, if you want, and that's the unfortunate truth actually, if you want a good job, if you want a good degree, you're going to have to study. That's the sad truth of it all. I just want to say that when I was studying, so for my entire 9th grade, I did a lot of time pass. I'm not saying I'm proud of it, but I had fun. That's not what you should do maybe, whatever works out for you. But I did not study, I did not take efforts, there was nothing that I did. Even 10th grade first film, I got terrible marks. But then that's when, a switch sort of flipped on in my head that this is 10, this is the final year, I need to be studying right now. Because my goal, my end point is to be getting great marks, getting a great career, having a great, that's what I want. So you need to think about your goal that way. Why are you studying? What, fruits will you bear after you study so well and get such great marks? That's upon you to think. What your individual goal is, why are you studying this particular thing, a particular topic, or whatever it is. So I think thinking about your end goal, and I'm saying instead of a short-term, happiness that leads to a long-term regret, why not sacrifice certain things now, study hard now, so that you can have long-term happiness in your life. That's one thing I think is really important.
So could you give us a tip of studying physics when you're very tired or something, so say I'm taking a past paper, what's my favorite do I apply to make the past paper easy?
Uh, to make a past paper easy while you're tired or bored. Okay. I think physics, so let me tell you, physics is a very interesting chapter. There are, I think it's about the entire universe. There are so many places you could explore. Okay. Sometimes if I had more time in my hands, what I would do is, sometimes when physics was included, when you go to stations, I would go a little deeper into the topic. So suppose if it was waves that I found, excuse me, if it was waves that I found really boring or tiring to study, I would find an interesting section of waves that I like, and I would watch videos on that. Videos are really important. So instead of having a huge textbook to read, and you start to read through all these points, watching videos is super important. So if you're going to a topic or if you're going to a past paper, and you don't know the question, it's very tiring, it's very stupid. I say watching video instead. So there's someone teaching you and you don't have to strain your eyes, you have to put in efforts to actually read the whole material. You can watch a video and then you can solve it again to see if you are able to solve it. Right. So you have to understand the topic. So watching videos is important. I also would, I used to at least go a little more in depth into a topic that I like. So I like space physics, for example. So if I found a question too hard or if it was tired to study it, I would go a little deeper into it, find it interesting enough, and then sort of gas time myself to study the topic again. So, other thing is if you're tired, don't give up. That's funny. I know it's very easy for us to say don't give up. Like when you're someone who doesn't like to study, I know it can be difficult, we've all gone through it. But like I said, imagine your goal. What your goal is. Why are you studying this? Is it to make your parents proud? Is it to, make yourself proud? Is it that a long-term goal to achieve? So, yeah, that's it.
Right. Thank you so much.
Also, sorry, there is one thing I would say today. In physics, it's like math, okay? You have to practice. I'm not saying sit down every day, solve one paper every single day, or study physics every day. But you have to keep in touch with the subject. Otherwise, if you go out of touch, it will be really difficult to do something.
That's right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.